Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition of Player One, brought to you by the Daily Dot. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm used to introing the R Smash Brothers AMA, but old habits die hard. Anyway, we have with us tonight a very special guest, someone that I'm very excited to talk to, the only non-god to crack the top two of a premier tournament in the Super Smash Brothers world. We've got with us Robert Wright, also known as Wobbles. Wobbles, we have a bit of an intro video for him to give you a little, catch you up to speed in case you aren't aware of his career. Why don't you take that away?
Look at a list of Smash champions from the past 6 years. No, not the ones who win a local or a weekly tournament. I'm talking about the big ones, the Evos, the big houses. Chances are you'll notice a trend of Smash gods taking every gold and silver from here to Kingdom Come. Then one name from Evo 2013. No, not Leffen, Axe, or even Westballs, it's Wobbles. The only guy to crack the top two at a premier tournament since 2009. A guy so potent with ice climbers that they named the character's Infinite Grab after him. After a 2-year retirement and several commentating gigs, the 28-year-old Robert Wright is back, ready to remind everybody what true wobbling looks like. He'll have some ground to make up as he begins the grind again, but if there's one thing ice climbers do best, it's climb.
Robert, please save me from my stammering and tell us how you're doing tonight.
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm living the college life, but now I guess I'm also living the esports life, so it's pretty exciting. Gotten a lot of positive feedback on my, I guess, glorious return, for lack of a better phrase.
No, it certainly is glorious. What university are you at right now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm at University of Texas, Dallas.
Oh, nice. Do the people on campus know that you are the Wobbles?
A couple do. It's kind of weird.
Nice. Feel like you maybe have to keep those lives separate a little bit, or do you feel like now you're going to walk around carrying your trophies? And
Yeah, get stopped, take a selfie. Then people look at me like, what the heck? Because no one else knows. A little selection effect going on there, though, because since I play at like the Dallas weeklies, and UTD is a heavy nerd school, that happens a lot.
Are there a lot of nerds in Dallas? I actually didn't know that was a thing in Dallas.
Well, UT Dallas specifically has
Gotcha.
a big emphasis on programming, engineering, sciences.
Oh, okay. Yep. No, I went to an engineering school. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
But anyway, you talked a little bit about you mentioned your glorious return. Obviously, the big news, if you haven't heard yet, is that Wobbles is back after a 2-year hiatus, having retired after I believe it was Evo 2013, was it not?
Yeah, I pretty much declared retirement before the tournament happened. So it wasn't like when you win one game and you yank the controller out and you go, peace. You know, I actually said in advance I just wanted it to be my last tournament, have a good time. And I think making that declaration gave me a lot of freedom to do as well as I did. But then I wanted to follow through because I was trying to commit to life stuff. And, well, when literally 95% of your friends are Smashers, it's kind of hard to get away from it.
When Smash really is your life, it's hard to really fully retire, I would assume.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, talk to us a little bit about the process that you went through in making the decision to come back to Smash. What sparked the return?
It snowballed in this very irritating way, which is I started going to some of the weeklies because, you know, I knew people there. I wanted to say hi. It was something to do. And then I kept on going back, and then I started playing friendlies with people. But the thing that got me was when Armada was around for the Summer of Smash in America, and he was actually in Houston for a tournament. I went down, and on the drive down, I decided I was going to enter that one just for one more shot at him. He ended up getting sick in the bracket, forfeit out, stayed back at the place he was staying, and slept in all day. And I just got 6-0'd by M2K. And I was like, man, how am I supposed to beat Armada's Peach if I can't beat M2K's Peach? So I got super salty and started playing a bit more. And then it just kind of, it turned into enter a tournament every now and then to, well, might as well enter my weeklies to stay in shape to, I guess I'm playing all the time now.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because it feels like Salt is a surprisingly powerful motivator. I feel like, personally, I do my best work when somebody pisses me off just a little bit too much.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe the way people have put it is that you were sort of semi-retired. You sort of had one foot in the Smash camp, but mostly you were off doing, as you put it, life things. How did it feel, especially after EVO 2013, to step away and be sort of in the shadows for a little bit, having been on that big stage just, months or even a year prior?
Okay, going to a major and not entering is so much fun because you get to walk around and watch whatever you want, hang out with whoever you want. You want to take a nap in the middle of the day, you want to have a beer, you want to just chill. That's fine. You don't have to worry about being up at 8:30 for your pool. You just go and hang out and have a blast. And it was really nice having some of that time, especially at majors, to just relax and enjoy the game from the community perspective and not really have to get stressed out or try super hard. Just sit down, play friendlies, and then, of course, you've kind of pre-johned. So if you do bad, then everyone's like, well, he's retired. And if you do really good, they're like, oh, my God, he still got it, which is pretty much why the Smash Reddit thinks I'm a hero.
Well, for all intents, I mean, do you still have it? I doubt that. You're probably underestimating yourself. I mean, if you played at least semi-regularly, do you feel like there's some accumulated rust? Do you feel like when you get back to, or do you feel maybe like you did the day you walked into Las Vegas in 2013? How far has your star fallen since beating Mango, PPMD, and Hungrybox?
I wouldn't even say it's fallen. It's just so that everyone else has gotten a lot better. And I was never in this position where I had guaranteed wins in the same way that the top 5 kind of does. So when you looked at M2K or you looked at Armada or you looked at any of them, they were taking top 5 all the time, period. I was making top 10 at a lot of majors, but it was always this massive struggle with tons of close sets along the way. So it's like I wasn't anywhere near that level of consistency. I wasn't able to win. I wasn't up there. Now everyone is better. Now the top 5, top 6 are all susceptible to getting upset, except arguably Armada. You still don't see it happen to him. So it's basically the pool is full of bigger fish now. And I am still pretty much the same size, just with wackier tricks, I guess.
Certainly a lot of a fan following when you go to the events. Do you find that when you show up at these events, people are still excited to see you, people still recognize you, even though you've been off the stage for 2 years?
That does happen.
Excellent. That's awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about the expanding talent pool and how that relates to you. Obviously, people like Drugged Fox, Plup, they've obviously made strides. Guys like Axe and Westballs are arguably knocking on the door of those top 5 finishes with increasing regularity. And then, of course, Leffen, the definition of godhood is sort of, being challenged these days with the talent at the top level. Is it intimidating for you to walk back into a scene that is so much more developed from when you played?
Yeah, a bit. But like I said before, I never even had real dominance to speak of. I just had a pretty high ceiling that I rarely ever touched. And so you get like one super good day and I surge ahead and everyone starts saying, oh my lord, 6th god, 7th god, super good, top 5, top 10. It's just like, I mean, yeah, when I'm playing my absolute best, I'm really good. I'm confident I could take top 5 even now, but it's hard to play your absolute best, especially with all these other people who are just so good now. The other thing to think about is there's a diminishing returns for how good you can get. The better you get, the more time you spend practicing to get fewer improvements. So once people hit a certain level, it'll take a year of practice to be like 0.1% better. So then people catch up to them, and then they just have to be off by a tiny bit, especially as everyone solidifies punish game and all that jazz. So it's a lot easier for people to play a little bad just for a minute, and suddenly you're losers. just like that. It happens to our top 5 now.
Sure, going out like a buster, insane, as they say. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you get someone like Drugged Fox, and he's got his on-point tech-chasing punish game, and Mango's not playing good for 30 seconds as Fox, then he dies twice. And now he has to play borderline perfect against someone who's already really good, he's not allowed to even miss anything, because then he dies again. And then he can't even trade. So when more players have access to those tools, arguably that's what I had with wobbling, was I had access to this big punish. Someone plays badly against me for 30 seconds. Oh, 4 stock to 2. Take that. Highly skilled player.
The infamous wobble. For those at home who aren't aware, we're actually speaking with the guy who for whom the term wobbling is named. And I have to ask, I wasn't around the Smash scene when wobbling became a thing. How did people feel about their pristine, beautiful technical game being bastard? I'll bet people weren't a fan.
They hated it. I didn't even. Me and my friend started it together. He wanted to play a character no one else played. And so since I was on Smash boards all the time and he wasn't, I was like, well, I guess you've got Zelda and Ice Climbers. So he played Zelda and Ice Climbers. And I had to go on Smash boards and find things out about the characters to teach him. So we ended up finding out about this Ice Climber grab infinite trick from Smash boards. Like, people knew about it, just no one used it. And no one played Ices. No one knew it was easy. So we started using it, and we just thought, man, this is the most broken thing we've ever seen. We are going to get this banned. That's going to be our mark on the competitive Smash scene. We're going to get this Ice Climber Infinite banned.
Okay, now let me ask you, to be honest, why isn't it banned?
Well, that's the thing. We were trying to use it and prove how broken it was. Oh, monitor went out, lost some light.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. See your beautiful mug.
We were trying to prove that it was ban-worthy. But the more we played, the more we're like, the better people are, the more we just lose. We just keep losing. We have to actually still be better than them to win, which is really the crux of whether you want to ban something. Even if it is dumb and annoying, it's like, well, no Johns get good. If we were able to win at a significantly lower level of skill just by abusing this technique, then you've got a good argument for banning. But it's dumb. It's really dumb. No one's arguing that it's good game design. But you shouldn't ban it if it isn't broken. And if you think the Icy player is that bad, then it's like, well, then you'll be able to abuse them. And if your excuse is, well, I should be allowed to mess up 4 times still and still win, it's like, but how far is that mentality going to get you against really good people anyhow?
Well, yeah, sure, because even against a character that doesn't have an infinite combo or a certain kill move, if you mess up 4 times against Leffen, you're probably going to see the same result than if you mess up 4 times and allow an Ice Climber to wobble you.
Yeah. You have to be better. But then at the end of the day, what you see is wobbling turning into a crutch, where people replace practicing the neutral game with just settling for their cheesy grab because someone missed a wave dash. Then suddenly, they fight someone who doesn't randomly air dodge or doesn't let themselves get shield grabbed 4 times, and they lose because they've got nothing else. So when people... This is my joke answer, but also my serious answer. When people ask me, how do you become a decent Ice Climber? And I say, learn to wobble. They go, how do you become a good Ice Climber? I go, stop wobbling. And then, how do you become a great Ice Climber? Start wobbling again. Because now you've got a neutral to back it up, and then you have the top tier punish to just devastate people. And at that point, you're looking at a dead Nana every time you whiff anyhow. So if I mess up, I lose a wobble. I lose the ability to wobble for that whole stock. If they mess up, they die.
Yeah, and watching a lot of your footage, it feels like that's maybe what sets you apart from other Ice Climbers, is that, I watched like a combo video of yours, for example, just to gain a little bit more insight into your style of play, and I noticed very quickly, wobbling is actually a surprisingly small part of it, despite your name. It's just, if the fear of wobble almost seems to be as much of a tool as the wobble itself.
Yeah. The basic neutral game against the Ice Climbers is they're going to stay off the ground because they're terrified of you. Up air them until they start staying on the ground, then grab them. There you go. There's your Ice Climber neutral.
It's like chasing sheep into a pen, right?
Pretty much. But what I found was that if I just settle on a cheesy easy grab, they die every time they make a mistake. Now it suddenly turns into, I'm not learning. I'm playing less melee than the other person is. So they're getting more practice per game, just mathematically. That's bad for me. Then the moment someone learns how to deal with it, I'm getting blown up. I don't like getting blown up. I like winning. So I started training myself to do 2 or 3 tilts to lock the infinite in, then do something else. So that way I practiced getting it started, and I practiced ending it without all that boring stuff in between, but I got to play more Melee. Then I started just swagging out to try and find out all these crazy setups, one for fun, but also there are a lot of times you get these grabs that aren't good for wobbling. You need like 3 serious strings in order to turn it into a stable infinite setup, because the other person is going to mash like crazy or Nana's at the wrong spot. And if you don't know all these wacky nuances, your conversion rate goes lower. So if you watch some of the stuff I do, I get these really crazy conversions into grab, and I'm able to turn this hit into this grab, into a weird combo, into another grab. So now my grab at 0 later turns into a grab at 50. If I want to wobble then, they're dead. Or I can just keep practicing and get Givey Cats. Either way, Wobbles wins.
Wobbles wins, absolutely. It's interesting to hear you talk about that, because I'm hearing percentages, I'm hearing mathematically, I'm hearing you speak in very technical terms, and even listening to your commentary at, I believe it was MLG New Orleans, was it not?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Listening to you commentate there, I noticed very quickly just how technical, how technically you approach the game. Is that something that stems from how you practice? Is that something that you apply to your play style?
Yes and no. When I'm separate from the game, I break it down. I'm very calculated. I'm very measured. When I go into the game, it turns into something more like, That's it. That's what I think. Is I just think attack, win, attack, go, grab, win, attack, style, win, Givey Cat, win. I forget. I need to take. It's tough for me to actually distance myself once I'm in the heat of the moment. So I try and get all my analysis out of the way outside of the game, and condition myself to be as fast as possible for those kinds of thought processes, so that I don't have to analyze and break down. And the flip side to that is later on you get to this point where people are watching you and they're like, so what was I doing wrong? I'm like, I don't know. You lost. I don't know, man.
You got to get good, man. You should have wobbled more.
From a video, then I'll break it down. But if I'm in the middle, I just go in.
Well, because being a robot's fun,
paradox.
But who doesn't love to style every once in a while, right? I mean, that's the fun stuff.
Yeah. You got to style.
That's awesome. Well, we got a couple more people specifically on your team, as it were. Panda Global, Esam Plup. Those guys are on the roster, and they're sort of known for doing some real tricks. How did you land on Panda Global as a sponsor when you decided to make your return?
Basically, I was at New Orleans for MLG. And I talked to one of the guys from Panda, because I was just walking around and being social when I wasn't on the mic, walking around booths, talking about Smash, talking about random
naps,
stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And I later got hit up by the leader, who said, you made an impression on him. What we want in Panda is people who've got potential to like go places, really rep esports and have skill, all that jazz, but also be positive and make people like being in the community. You do that. I was like, oh, cool. Thank you. Neat. So then I was just thinking, it's so much fun to get to go around and commentate, that if I have the opportunity to do that, then I want to do it, because it's tons of fun and I get to see people. And ultimately, I'd rather transition into just commentating. Everyone who wants the glorious return, new top 5, new God of Ice and Snow, you might be disappointed, because my goal is to commentate more than I play. So I'm going to enter to remind people I'm a flippin' legend, but I'm going to try and be more entertaining, less super try hard. If I get the fire in me, then yeah, I'm going to wobble people and try and win. I'm going to try and, make it fun on the way.
Now I'm hearing you're a guy. You're sitting here. You're saying, I mean, I'm hearing you when you're saying you want to be a commentator more. But what I'm also hearing from earlier in our interview is I can get top 5 right now. Is that? I mean, come on, man. Where's your high? You could also buy a lot of ticket. That is true.
That's basically what I mean by that. You have no idea how on point I'd have to be. I'd have to be wobbling, super focused. I can't even have fun at the event because then I'm going to use all my cognitive energy. I can't do that. I have to be there for business time. I've got to get in the right state of mind. And then I have to not choke because that's its own variable. There are people who are like, I just got to try and I'm going to crush people. It's like, no. Sometimes you go Mr. Try Hard and then you still wash out. So
I think the viewers at home would like to know, do you wear business socks when it's business time?
I always wear business socks.
Good. Then it's always business time, I'll tell you that much.
Basically. Also, black socks are, I wear black socks, but they got Adidas on them. They're athletic. They're comfy.
There you go. Those are business socks, man. That tells people you're there to ball. You're there to style. You're there to make your presence known. Talking 2013 was arguably the height of your career. You're sitting here today, 2015, a little bit of rust, a foot in the commentating camp. Let's say you get the fire under you. What is the biggest thing standing in your way to repeating that 2013 magic?
Practice. A lot of grinding, because I don't really practice on my own anymore. I just show up and goof around and have fun. I've got a lot of residual muscle memory, so I would need to put in an insane amount of time coupled with analysis and do like a lot of mental training, like the kind of wacky stuff that like Olympic athletes do, like visualizing and getting into their right mindset, because for me it's still too loosey-goosey. I still mess up lots of wave dash down smashes in my locals. And if I really start getting into my zone, which I don't really control, and there are people more mentally disciplined who can do that, then I pretty much just flub. I just flub around, and flubbles. Slide around to drop basic grab combos, forward throw people instead of wobbling, wave dash, spot dodge because I'm still holding his shield when I flip the C stick down. All this stuff. Miss the jump button when I jump out of shield. Like, random stuff. And that's that grind that a lot of the other super good players are on right now. And you have to put in so much time to get that tiny little extra consistency. Just that tiny bit that might make you get one or more stock against Armada, but only for one game. Because then he turns up the heat and you're like, this is hard. It's a grind, and I would have to really get back on the grind.
Like at the very least, you want to come back, but you still want to do what keeps you around Smash, and that's have fun.
Yeah, Smash is fun.
That it most certainly should be. At any case, we've got Luna and sorry, I'm trying to grab your name real quick. Nod then Bow desperately want to know, when are we going to see Wobbles stream again?
When I'm not in the middle of the semester and I figure out why my internet is terrible and I fix a bunch of stuff. Yeah, pretty much. And then I'll probably just be like playing The Binding of Isaac or something. But, hang out. Isaac and chill.
Isaac and chill. Overwatch and chill if you're one of the lucky few to get a beta key.
Oh, man. That game looks nuts. I don't think I can handle it. It looks awesome. Too many particles.
Are you on the daily, in addition to your Smash grind, are you on the grind that I am, where you open up your Battle.net client every day to see if you've got a beta key and all you see is learn more?
Nah. I'm not really a Blizzard game player. I watch them, and I desperately rely on the commentators to tell me what's going on. But pretty much every Blizzard game I am hopelessly lost at. RTS in particular.
Well, if you want to play Diablo, the good news is it's just a bunch of button mashing, and it's actually super fun. So if you need a game to pick up. We've got another question from the chat. Nitronic Gamer asks, as far as I understand, wobbling is not just button mashing. It's actually a very precise rhythm. Nitronic Gamer wants to know, has anyone ever tried to mess with your wobble timing outside of the game? And if so, what was the weirdest one?
Yes. People try and mess you up all the time. They yell at you, they joke. But honestly, it's not that hard to keep it going. You've got to find the rhythm and practice it. It's easy to be bad at it, surprisingly. People will go, oh, I practiced it and I got it. I was good at it after 20 minutes of practicing. It's like, dude, I can do all kinds of crazy stuff when I'm practicing on my own. Do it in a game. Do it while people are shouting or booing you, all that stuff. But once you have it locked in, like, people can jump and scream and dance in front of the TV and call me names and all that, and I won't drop it. I can, like, watch other matches while I do it. I basically have to pay zero attention. It's just locked in my muscle memory.
Sure. Once you've got the rhythm, I'm sure it's hard to get rid of.
Yep.
Pokemon 64ism asks, actually we had a lot of discussion in the chat earlier about one of the biggest barriers to your return is the Peach matchup. And obviously, you talked about beating Armada, Peach, one of his strongest weapons. Pokemon 64ism wonders, what will your game plan be for Peach? Will you stick to the climbers, or are you planning some sort of secondary?
Stick to ice climbers. I'm bad at everyone else. For real, I am trained at that character. Mm-hmm. My other characters are all just wacky patchwork theft from what I see other people do. And I love to play them in friendlies, but I really don't have the drive to sit down and play one character for more than 20 minutes at a time at most before I just want to pick someone else. But then I'll play Ices for like 3 hours straight. So I have to be seriously four-stocking people back to back to back to get bored of playing Ice Climbers. So I'm not really all that motivated to pick the other characters. Plus, I am genuinely curious to see if I can do it. There's a bit of stubbornness, a bit of pride, a bit of curiosity. But also, when I think back on all the games I've played with Armada, I think he has never beaten my Ices as bad as I've watched him beat people with better matchups against him. Like, Fox beats Peach. He has the advantage. Sheik, Marth all have advantages in that matchup, depending on whether you're in PAL or not, I guess. And he's never four-stocked me. But I have watched him four-stock a lot of really good Spaceys.
I mean, to be fair, he's also never four-stocked me. So, I mean,
basically what it makes me think is, if I can keep the neutral really isolated, like very... Just don't let wacky things start happening. No, don't get all mixed up. Don't let him in on me. Don't let him cause chaos. Don't let him bully Nana. Just play really boring. Funnel it into one moment where I get that grab. I'm going to stock up. So now it's 4-stock to 3. Mm-hmm. Weather the invincibility. Now I rinse and repeat. Now it's really hard. I know I just made it sound easy, but that's how I mentally approach it.
But at the very least, you have a process.
I have to think about it like that.
Yeah, sure. At least you have some sort of procedure in mind, some sort of game plan when you go against.
Yeah. And not get impulsive. Because every time I think, I've got him. There's the dodge down smash. There's the fair. There's the dead Nana. Now I'm stuck being Sopo for a full 30 to 45 seconds digging in my heels. But, I've managed to take out Armada stock with just Sopo. In friendlies and in our money matches and stuff like that. I've managed to do it. So what it comes down to is he is really, really good. He doesn't make dumb mistakes. I make lots of them. I still have so much better to get that it's hard for me to say it's the Ice Climbers' fault. I'm letting down the Eskimos. It's not the other way around, at least for now. Maybe I'll be perfect and I'll keep losing and then I'll switch, but until that day comes, no Johns.
No Johns. Get good. Get good, scrub. Real Slim Brady wants to know, how do you feel about your chances against Leffen?
He's a Fox. Fox is really good. Hit Fox 4 times, he loses. I have tons of tricks he has never been exposed to, so in the tournament setting, the odds of me randomly pulling out a gimmick that gets him killed, and then him getting confused, making a tech error because he's thinking about something extra, killing him again, really changes the shape of the matchup, especially against Spaceys who don't have experience against Ices. So, Leffen's really good. His neutral game's obscenely good. That makes it really hard to beat Fox, but again, play good, play outside that neutral, get clutch openings, win. Don't mess up.
You forgot one step. Wobble.
Yeah, we'll do some of that. We'll do a lot of that. If I end up in any match pretty much against the top 6, or Puff or Peach, Wobbling's coming out. I may or may not against other people during sets, depending on how I feel. But if I hit that point, I'm going to make myself go serious mode. I'm gonna make myself.
And fortunately for you, the crowd has sort of come full circle and people actually like Wobbling now. So you have that going for you.
I ignore the crowd. I don't hear the crowd for good and for bad.
You really don't hear the crowd when there's thousands of people directing their voices at your body.
Like there's a disorder called depersonalization, derealization disorder. And derealization basically means things outside of you feel unreal or alien or detached or disconnected from you. So there's like a wall in between you and reality. And when I'm really in my zone, that's how I feel about anything outside the game. Is I hear it, but I have no emotional response to it. So people are trash talking behind me. I don't respond. People are cheering. I hear it, but I don't process it. It just kind of washes over me, and I'm just back in the game. It's really, really useful.
Yeah.
And I had to develop that kind of skill because I spent so long getting booed. So I was always an underdog, plus playing a character no one likes, plus using the dreaded infinite. No love for the longest time. So I had to cultivate that skill.
That sounds like a very useful skill to have. Absolutely. We got time for one more question, and I always like to end these on a bombshell. Will we see you at Genesis 3?
Yeah. That was
There
easy.
you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Good news for all of us Wobbles fans. Everybody very excited for your return, obviously. You got anything you want to say before we wrap up here?
Basically, I want to give a giant shout out to the community for being super welcoming in bringing me back into the fold and telling me nice things and boosting my ego and all that jazz, because I really wanted to turn into a positive force in the community over the years. Once I developed a negative reputation, I became very devoted to turning that around, trying to be friendly, welcoming, entertaining, teaching people. Wanted to leave the community better than I joined it. And now that I'm back, I just want to keep boosting it in whatever way I can. So I'm glad people are excited to see me back. I hope they're still excited to see me at events. I want to do that for this community. It's given a lot to me. I really like it. I like a lot of the people. And last message is, have fun. You're playing the best game in the world.
Have fun. It's a game. Why you have to be mad? Thank you so much, Wobbles, for coming on the show. Once again, appreciate you coming on to talk about your return joining Panda Global. We'll be at Genesis 3. Let's see if we can duplicate some of that EVO 2013 magic. We'll be back.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Well, I personally will hold my breath, so make it happen. We will be back tomorrow night, all of you Smash fans, with none other than Zero answering your questions from the R Smash Brothers AMA thread. Be sure to tune into that at 6 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. I have no idea what time that is in Europe, so please don't ask. As for tonight's plans, we will be back in roughly 15 or 20 minutes with Hastro, the manager of the recent DreamHack Cluj-Napoca winning team, Team Envious, also a big proponent of Call of Duty. So if you're a fan of either of those games, stick around. We'll have an important member of the community, and we'll be right back in a little bit.